I don't think I've seen anybody get their ass kicked as hard as Hayate's face looks like he's got his ass kicked. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Macross Delta. The final episode in the 3 that we're watching back to back, which is why obviously every 2 to 3 we have notes for. If you were ever in question, anytime we come back with notes, that means it's the first episode of a batch that we're watching. This specific batch, though, we're dealing with, well, sorry, I was going to say the infiltration, but that was actually the two-thirds. Yeah.
Two-thirds, yeah.
I kind of
Well,
forgot
we're getting
what
a
the
lot of
first one was.
reveals. We're getting reveals, and we're dealing with the war. Now we have open war, and with the Windemirians.
It's not really open war either.
I mean, Chaos certainly has been. Well, they have been contracted to defend Ragna, the planet.
Yeah, but they haven't
And
attacked
Windermere
anybody on that behalf either. In fact, it's weird because all of their most of their pilots. I don't know how many pilots they have. The 5, I guess, right? They've sent all of their pilots off on this infiltration mission, which means Ragna is being defended by the carrier.
Oh, they have more. They have more.
We have
because the carrier they showed all the pilots launching from the pilot. In fact, one of them got killed. Some random pilot. Oh, I'm here.
Oh, that was a Windemirian pilot that got killed.
No. The Windemirians were going to attack the carrier because they want to go after Walkur, and I think it was Bravo Squad or something intercepted him, and one of those guys got blown. So yeah.
I don't recall that. I remember a Windemirian pilot got killed because we had a debate about if that was the twin or not. Yeah. The only squads I remember getting killed were the ones defending one of the planets, because that's when. Sorry, was it when they showed up or when a Windemirian group showed up? Because they're saying they're being defeated by the mind-controlled people from the nuns.
Yeah,
and that was the only squads I remember getting defeated.
The first episode, they jump in to help those people.
For clarification, he's talking about episode 6.
Episode 6, yes. The first episode that we're watching.
Yes, I know, but people don't know exactly what that is. That's why I clarified for their benefit.
Yes.
Because otherwise there's a comment about saying episode 1 wasn't about that.
You know, and then Walkur is doing their thing, and then the Knights break through. Like, oh, so-and-so, go intercept them. And they are fighting. They briefly fight the Knights, and one of these guys shows up like, oh, I'm going to stop him. Gets blown up. They pass by, and they're like, oh, we got to help those guys. So yes,
again, something I'll come back to in the notes, because again, even though you're describing it, do not recall. My main point, though, about open warfare is it is just a small PMC versus a group that's mind-controlling everybody. So essentially, they're winning all of their fights by default.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're playing a turn-based, real-time, turn-based strategy game, and you haven't put any defenses in any of your cities. They are just walking in and taking them over.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they've gotten better the longer it's gone on. Well, because I mean, like, there's the fights that we see where they only take over part of the defenses, and then we hear later, oh, they've actually taken over 3 places. That's like, oh, okay. I mean, that is the ultimate power, it feels like.
Yeah, mind control. And
again, this is just kind of themes from other shows into this one, because you could say, oh, this is Sharon Apple, Macross Plus, or I keep wanting to say Shiva.
No, Macross 7.
Yes, I know. It's the name I'm trying to remember. It's an S, so I can't all of a sudden forgot.
Sybil?
Sybil, yeah. It's Sybil on steroids, you know. Sybil could take over multiple bodies at once instead of just one person. Although, technically, as I already covered by the note, the glowing orb thing.
Also the helmets, which were mind-controlling the pilots.
Yeah, which I guess is still technically on the level, considering this is basically chemical mind control mixed with a signal, which technically the helmets were not much different from that.
And the plan, Grace's plan was to, in many ways, take over directly body control through implants, but kind of mind control.
The reason why I wouldn't put Frontier into that list is that Grace never did her plan, whereas Macross 7 did it Sharon Apple
Oh, she did
did it.
control the Vajra. Well,
Yeah, but her thing was
controlling everybody in the galaxy.
forced transhumanism, which she didn't do.
She didn't got to do it, though.
Yeah, and the Vajra are essentially like one mega brain, so it's not really the same thing. It's Grace's thing was basically she took over one person in 1,000 or 1,000,000,000 parts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't put her on the same level. As much as I love Grace, favorite character, I love her as a villain, and I love her as a hero. So, great character. Like, who else do you get that for?
Really a lot of people, yeah.
I can't remember any character that you get to see a hero arc and a villain arc, because typically you don't make the movie that much different from the show.
Unless you're the Macross writers, in which then you do.
I guess Kaifun? I would argue he's kind of the villain in the show, and in the movie he kind of like sacrifices himself.
I think does he survive? I think he does survive. Yeah, he survives.
Well, I know he throws himself into danger to protect Minmay in the movie. If he survives, he survives. But that's not the argument here. I'm saying that he is a villain in the show, which he's an abusive drunk to his cousin. Yeah, and then he is I don't know if he's a caring guy, but he's a protective cousin.
I think he's just a producer in the movie. He's just the producer.
I think he's still her cousin.
They never say anything about it.
He still has the name Kaifun, which means I would assume to mean the last name doesn't change if the first name didn't. So either way, he's a nice, good guy in the movie.
Kaifun Lin, but we don't, because the last name would be Lin Minmay. So
yes, I know from all of the people on our board that I had to keep track of, and we had to score that have the Pao Shun Lin.
Kai-Fu Lin, but we only hear him in the movie. I don't think they even mention the name. We know he's Kai-Fu because he looks like Kai-Fu and behaves a little bit.
He doesn't even look like Kai-Fu. He does not look the same. But I think they say his name because he pushes himself on the "I'm going with you" thing. So I have to assume somebody said something. I don't think we made up that was Kai-Fu.
No, it is Kai-Fu.
Also, the fact that we got through ranking and watching it and nobody corrected us. I have to think from the actually crowd out there that they would have told us that was not Kaifun. So that's the only other example I can think of. It's not a huge difference between it is actually a huge difference. Movie Kaifun was so much less obnoxious. But he's more of a good guy than the self-obsessed, drunk asshole TV show Kaifun.
Not a real pacifist.
Which I have to align with good guy Grace versus bad guy Grace.
I guess so. Well, TV show, movie. Yeah, it kind of fits. Grace is far more important a character, of course, in Frontier.
That's the only example I can come up with.
Also plays a producer to a singing star. Yeah, it's.
I guess the irony there is that Kaifun is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess assume we know he's alive during Macross 7 because he's TV show Kaifun. TV show Kaifun, where he's calling Firebomber a ripoff of his Firebomber English.
America, I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
English, I think. Yeah.
But so ironic. There's no information that I could think of that would say he dies. So
no.
He's got 11 years though, and he's getting pretty old. All right. Well, to get us into this episode, I've already said what I think is going to happen, which is either going to be dimension bombs on the planets, or she's singing, and it's going to counteract the VAR syndrome everywhere.
Yeah.
What is your guess? Because you disagreed. I don't know if you disagreed with me on the dimension bomb, so you disagreed with me on the singing. So
actually, I was the one who said, dimension bombs in the case of if she actually, I combined the two. If she does liberate at least this planet, maybe not the whole of the planets, but this one planet through the device, through the whole protoculture thing, then the gambit is okay. Oh, you don't want to cooperate? Well, we're going to blow you up, right?
Well, I mean that you said that last episode, but 3 episodes ago, when we were doing our notes, I came up with the idea that they would put dimension bombs on all the planets, and create a dimensional barrier like surround their planet around the entire cluster was my Hail Mary stupid crazy idea. And that's when I came up with the idea that they would put the dimension bombs on all the planets, and then they asked them during one of the episodes, like, oh, hey, maybe I was right. But yeah, I don't think you debated the idea that they could do that.
No.
But you did debate that I was wrong about the whole chamber here being the same thing. And
Yeah,
if
I
she
don't
could
think it's the same
sing,
thing.
because you said it'd be too quick to defeat the whole occupation thing. So that's what I'm
there's
saying.
something else going on, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Which
saying.
could be.
So what is your guess, since everybody now knows or has been reminded of what mine was?
I think maybe it might not be a cluster-wide thing, but it might be a planet-wide thing. Like that they might liberate this planet, if not only temporarily. And then maybe what could happen is people get liberated. Then Royd says, "Oh, you liberated people. Well, if you don't leave, we're gonna blow up the planet." And they're like, "Fuck, okay, we gotta leave." And then try to find another way to deal with the situation.
So instead of Royd being Giran, like I suggested he was going to be,
Yeah.
or was turning into, you're suggesting that Royd is actually McQueeve.
Yeah, more McQueen than
Trust you. Trust you. Trust you. Fuck you. I don't care about our negotiation about no more dimensional weapons. I'm using it. All right. Well,
can't argue with a dimensional weapon when you have it ready to explode. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Oh, my finger says otherwise, asshole. What do you think?
if Starship Troopers taught me anything, is that they can't push the button if you disable their hand.
But you do that through a screen. You don't do it with somebody in the room that can throw a knife at you.
Oh, no.
That's
See,
important.
I do it through a live transmission of singing, apparently, because that's how everything works now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, actually, if you could sing at them and then mind control them, like reverse that around, they're not going to push the button. They're going to stand there, the veins in their face bulging out if they don't blink.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he never told us what the bunker was that he was hiding. He's just going to stand there until the eyes rot out of his head.
That's it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Not censored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
And they got captured.
Well, it's the same that happened at the end.
Yeah.
統合政府の犬どもと裏切り者のウィンダミア人空中騎士団こいつらが敵
We're fine. The Aerial Knights, but they're underground. It's their weakness.
風を汚す裏切り者
Literally, Bogu has been training to take out his master in hand-to-hand combat. So, I think we've been shown that he's good at this.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be stronger and better. That's why they live so short lives.
Unfortunately, though, he's also the antagonist, which means he's going to lose to bullshit. I anticipate
maybe.
her singing is going to, again, free everybody, which is then he's going to get like a radio signal, like, oh shit, and then has to go deal with that, in which case it's going to give them an opportunity to get out. Because unfortunately, as dumb as tropes are, they are tropes for a reason.
True.
Well, again,
Or this is Messer shows up, fights them, gets killed, and they live.
here's the thing. You're saying it's way too early for them to liberate all the worlds. I think it's way too early for Messer to get killed. Episode
Somebody's
8.
going to have to get killed. It's going to have somebody's going to get killed from the team, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but not yet.
Hmm.
I mean, also, why does he have to get killed?
Because I think he's the one who has a death flag on.
No, he didn't have the death flag because he doesn't want a relationship with anybody. It's got to be somebody, bless you, that isn't a relationship with somebody.
But it'll be
A-Rad
somebody that
or-
everybody wants to be in a relationship with, and there are at least 2 women who want to be in a relationship with him. So
No, I don't think you kill. You don't kill the asexual guy. You kill somebody who wants to get fucked. That way, there's a loss. What if Hayate died? That would be a real surprise. And then the main character is a messer from there on. You realize everyone's back is the thing exposed to everybody standing above them? Thing we should all be able to see. Yeah, literally, why would I let you talk?
yeah.
What would you have done if he just swung his sword and sliced your neck open? Like, who the fuck are you? I don't think I've seen anybody get their ass kicked as hard as Hayate's face looks like he's got his ass kicked.
Also, she's supposed to be part Centrati. I guess that doesn't transfer to her being stronger.
No, you were talking about her.
Faster.
The
No, I'm
green
talking
hair
about
girl.
Mirage. Mirage.
Well, she's... We don't know what her parents are, so she could be a quarter Centrati. She only said what my grandparents were. She never said what her parents were.
Has to be one of. Has to be one of. Melia's and grandchildren, children, right? One of her
Well,
daughters.
that's not the part I'm talking about. I'm talking about who who the other one was. Were they Zentradi or were they human? Or were they other? Is she quarter something else? Yeah, go figure. Setting off a flashbang in your own face wouldn't have had the results you wanted.
尋問する前に殺すつもりか
尋問今すぐ処刑するべきです
Howard.
Coward, but smart move. Would have been.
Yeah.
But, you know, protagonists. They don't do that.
フレイヤこれは戦争だ戦争って俺たちには政府権を確立しブリージンガルの星々を解放するという大義がある統合政府に強制的に併合された人々に自由を取り戻すのだなんでそれ意味わからん解放何が解放だ人は
Hayate, you're gonna get kicked in the face again.
話しといてそんなのが大義だってのかよ先に我らの平和を土足で踏みにじったのは地球人だウィンダミアは地球人が来るまでは静かな星だった俺たちは俺たちの世界を取り戻すだからって食べ物を粗末にしちゃいけんはみんながカリーおばちゃんやニール掃除さんやみんなが一生懸命作ったリンゴを戦争に使うなんて
I mean, they're not going to
ウィンダミア
waste.
のためなんかリンゴとみんなに謝らんかい
一本取られたなボーグ
マスターヘルマン
俺の家もリンゴ農家だったよだが畑も両親も兄弟もあの戦争で失ってしまったこれは戦争なのだカシム
That is... They spell his name different every subtitle. It's been spelled with a C, a Q, and a K now.
祖国を捨てお前はなぜ汚れた者たちの歌を歌う祖国を捨てて
Their faces aren't bulging, though. Oh, sorry, that's Messer. But tell you, he's a complicated character. I feel like there's going to be a lot more to him other than... It would be a waste to kill him right now.
大丈夫です。先を急ぎましょう。始めるわよ。
Well, I guess nothing came of her singing then.
フレイヤたちに何かあったの？私はウィンダミアを捨ててなんか。
ではなぜ歌う？憎むべき者たちの歌を。
あなたはなぜステージに立つの？
I hope she gives the speech that I'm constantly giving you about separating this the speech from the speech giver.
私は。
お前はただ歌という幻に取りつかれているに過ぎない。何の覚悟も持たぬ者の歌など戦場には不要。
This is literally the anti-culture point of view.
祖国の大地に返してやろう。それが同じ風の中で生まれた者としてのせめてもの情けだ。やめろ！
And I very much do appreciate that the protagonists don't win just for being protagonists.
ロイド様、なぜ止めるのですか？ロイド、捕獲しろと命じたはずだ。
Yeah, also the whole bloodshed thing about Hines.
裏切り者など殺してしまえば済むこと。我々は新統合軍どもとは違う。
I like this song.
この曲は。
As per usual, I don't hear a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
We'll hear it in my notes taking. I would say, but of course you know this is just holograms.
Yeah.
What are you... Bogu, you've used holograms in your dogfights before. Why are you confused? See, what they should have actually done is put a hologram of a cave wall in front of Messer and just looks like bullets are coming out of nowhere. I guess this is their main song. Okay, yeah, when you can dodge bullets like that, I guess you are superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like the song is breaking the VAR syndrome. Okay, man. You're showing off now. You didn't have to backflip your way down the stairs, too. I'm fine. God graced me with another.
Yeah.
Guys, I know this is an awkward time to have this conversation, but you ever think our shoulder pads are way too big? You're literally having him sing himself to death. I don't think it's for him.
That's a new thing.
No, it's not. Literally, I brought it up last time. Oh, are you talking about the mid-credit roll gacha game? Or the portal he's standing in front of?
No, I'm talking about the thing that dropped out of the gacha.
The gacha game, yeah, sorry. I was talking about the portal.
風の歌
I don't know. I assume that's like a battle or one of the monsters.
ヒリヒリ痛い。でもこの前より全然強い。まさか遺跡とこうして。風の歌いて。でもこの歌色がない。
I don't know what colors mean yet.
落ち着けワルキューレがついてる必要な情報は入手したとっととラグナに帰るとしよう
He's fighting it.
クラゲラーメンをおごってやるぞラグナエビも乗せてやる
I don't see any reason to punish us, sir.
毎度あり前期フォーメーションエルボス
Of course, that anime thing of he got kicked in the face twice and he already had
Yeah.
bandages on him the first time. Alright, they are doing the protagonist thing. You can't shoot the wings off of everybody all the time. Just did it. Also, does he have the things on? Yep. What did I say? I even called this too. 3 episodes ago, I called this.
Yeah. So he's not human then?
No, he is. He's just got some
Infected?
weakness. Yeah, he's got some weakness that makes him susceptible. Well, obviously he's infected. It seems like it's like Walking Dead rules, and that everybody's been eating the apples and drinking the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was supposed to defend people. Okay. But what are the chances that nearly everybody you've ever fought was somebody's parent?
True.
Is it just because you know this one?
It makes it more personal.
Does it? It's literally the trolley problem that you argued against before. I don't remember them saying his name before. Oh, they probably did. Yeah, if only you could just talk somebody out of mind control.
Not in this area.
I mean, not in most. I mean, it is literally the entire point of what you do. And we've actively seen you do this 3 times already.
Yeah.
What if she dies?
Yeah, well.
Real Madoka Magica twist. If she does
Yeah.
this and she gets blown away by the other guy right now.
Could happen.
Almost. Almost. I gotta say, I appreciate that they even went that far. Like,
Yeah.
if she does break him out now by singing, props. I give it to you. That he pulled the trigger and we didn't get some stupid ass held off
Yeah.
cries, whatever.
風がほう面白い
Getting glasses guy. What you think you were here for?
邪魔はさせない
I still don't like Hayate beating anybody in anything, though. We already guessed it's
I mean-
a full crystal. I guess it was a full
Yeah.
crystal in episode 0.89.
Yeah.
早い。何この反応。颯君、フレイヤと共鳴して。やっとお目覚め。
Did you break your fingers? How do you do that so easily?
I don't know.
A little bit off topic, but I would really like to hear her sing "What About My Star." I think she's got a good voice for it. Again, military veteran Hayate, who fucking sucks. I don't know how getting inspired by a song makes you better at a skill you don't have. I remember I was doing that cross-stitching one time, but then I turned on some Ozzy Osbourne and boom, crocheted me a perfect blanket.
リーダーワルキューレは無事か
Not true now, probably true if I ever reach old home retirement status.
そうだ
Well,
よし繋がるぞ
So what does this mean for that other guy?
力が蘇りつつあるのか
This planet's ace pilot, remember, who just got on Var syndrome, but they left behind, and the Windemirians are still in control of the planet. So what happens to him now?
goes underground, I guess. Guess it's grab his family and leaves.
Well, they also stopped singing, so does he just get back under control?
何をしていたの？
Well, I think he has to be reactivated by the prince. If he doesn't sing again, then he doesn't get
歌
reactivated.
います。歌を銀河中に届けることができれば、きっとみんな笑顔で、ゴリ楽しくなって。そうすれば、戦争だって。だから、
Said everybody in every series. And then war happened again.
Well, war is happening right now, so
Well, just say, you see that if I could sing to the entire galaxy, everybody would be happy, life would be fun, and war would end. So again, said every idol in every one of these shows.
yeah.
War has never ended.
Oh, specific wars have ended.
Yeah, but war, I guess I'm thinking that they're saying war in general.
Oh,
If
yeah.
everyone could just hear my song, essentially it's the Basara conceit. If everyone could just hear my song. Except, again, the only conceit that I will give them is that war always changes.
Yeah. Other people are involved in the war, so have other reasons. And they also can, in this case, they weaponize the music too, so.
But also, really denigrates the reasons people fight.
True.
The reason that you're fighting, despite, the broad view of it that I've given, is really dumb if you just consider this song I'm about to sing. You imagine if you went to, like, the United Nations and in the middle of a massive debate, you're just like, but listen to this real quick.
No.
It wouldn't be peace accords were signed. It was Beyonce kicked out of the UN.
Yeah.
メッサー注意。
何やってんだ。隊長が呼んでるぞ。
大丈夫ですか？
俺に構うな。
Don't lie. You have bar syndrome.
まさか。
This isn't even a lying moment. Right? Okay. Walk in the room. Are you okay? And also, massive vein lines in my face. Better be like, quick, call 911, get some aspirin. I think he's having a heart attack. Just stand there staring at him. The commander's been calling for you. Why are you ignoring him? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I knew Hayate was a fucking idiot, but come on, Mirage, what are you doing?
I should have heard that.
Yeah, shouldn't clutch so hard. No, it's fucking stupid. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Oh, he has bars.
Yeah. Well, we knew he was ill before, and then we got a little bit of, like, backstory element there with the, I guess, city under destruction. I guess, he was present for the War of Independence.
Yeah. The only one. So yeah, I like this episode. In spite of, some things, but overall I liked it.
It had its moments. Ultimately, it turned into the normal thing, protagonists win pretty easily, despite their massive skill disadvantage.
I mean, I don't think he's not unskillful. I mean, he's being, again, I assume that he keeps on training and getting better. Right?
He's also being trained by somebody else who's more skillful, who says is bad or is not as well trained either.
No, because I think now the lieutenant took over his training. That's why he was criticizing the three of them. Like, you suck, you're not worth talking to.
Well, no. Hayate is still being trained by Mirage.
I don't think so. I think Messer took over.
There was no indication that Messer ever took over. Messer's just talking down to them.
Then he wouldn't be the one evaluating them together. She would be evaluating him.
He's not evaluating them. He is in the sense that somebody shit-talking you is an evaluation.
Yeah, it's still an evaluation. He was like, this is what happened. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, he's just telling them that.
That's an evaluation. What do you think evaluations are?
An evaluation is a setup thing where somebody who's responsible for you gives you a rundown of what's good and bad about you. Messer, as I'm saying, is not an evaluation because he's not responsible for them. All you've been... Here's what you do. Me. Here's the thing. Granted, I only just talk over you. You add the... But You only indicated that you thought that he was in charge of them. And then I said, I don't think he is. It hasn't been relegated. And then you broke me down on what an evaluation is. Where my whole point about him not being in charge is he's not giving an evaluation. He's just shit-talking them about what they're bad at. It's not
That's an evaluation. It's
not an evaluation because he's not in charge. If I say, Lessons, this is what you're bad at. You're bad at doing sign-offs because you're not good at improvising the thing that you're supposed to talk about. I'm not in charge of you, Lessons. We're podcasters.
But he is. He's the second lieutenant and the executive officer of the unit. He is very much in charge of them. He is their superior officer.
He's not in charge of training them, which is the indication that you made. I'm saying that the last thing that we ever got told was that he is still going to her classes. She's training him.
It seems something has changed, because otherwise he wouldn't be evaluated.
Well, in the realm of seems like, if nothing is actually given to us, then seems like can be seems like all day. It doesn't have to be true. You know, two people living together that happen to be a man and a woman, you're like, you two seem like a married couple. Like, they'll be like, fuck you! Doesn't seem like, unless it got common law without us knowing. We're just in it because it costs less to live together.
Anyway, that's my take on it. Anything else?
Do you have no other thoughts about the episode of the Besser and his...
Well, I would say that it wasn't really this episode. It was the episode before. Was it this episode when we see the two kids singing to their father? I think that was pretty heartbreaking.
This episode.
Yes, episode.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been in other circumstances, but for me, I couldn't feel anything for it because I spent more time trying to figure out what was going on.
And the fact that the flashbang ploy didn't work with them, I do like the fact that they did show why the Windermere's are superior to us. It's like, they're fighting the same way, and they're like, no, these guys can kick your ass, kick a quarter Centrati's ass, kick that. Well, actually, she probably is half Centrati too.
Well, no, because Mylene was half Centrati.
Yeah, Mylene married another Centrati, and that's why she still has years. Goes, actually, no, Ranka was quarter Centrati. Yeah, that's right. And in spite of all that, even with the flashbang ploy, that didn't work.
I don't know that it proves that they're better, though. They could just still be more trained.
I mean, they're pretty... This guy was leaping. One of them was leaping like 10 and 15 feet away. Like, oh, yeah, I'll fight you in the sky. I was like, okay, sure. They got the... Even when they threw the flashbang, the other guys jumped in and kicked their asses. Like, everybody should have been blinded there. They're like, oh, no. Oh, so you want to throw a flashbang? Fuck you. Boom, boom, boom. We heard them getting their ass kicks. They didn't even show us what it was.
Again, legitimately, though, my drawback on that scenario is that Hayate should be dead.
You mean the dogfight?
No, in the underground. He's got a sword pointed out. Hayate's saying shit. It's like what I said during the reaction. Who are you? I don't think we even need you. Legitimately, he was wanting to kill them all. And it's like, even if you needed people to interrogate, we don't need all of them.
Yeah, but you don't get to decide that. He has superiors who are going to tell him.
Actually, no, he does, because he was deciding that. Literally, until Royd jumped in and literally stopped his blade, he was deciding.
That was against... Well, and he wasn't going to kill him.
It was Royd and Keith.
Keith was going to cut off the room. Like he's basically saying...
I'm saying, though, Keith was literally saying we should kill them all, and then he was in the midst of pulling the blade out. Not pulling the blade.
And then Roy jumped in because he says, "Oh, you're going against orders. That's not what the prince wants."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were saying he doesn't decide, and I'm saying he was in the middle of deciding. So,
it's not a disobeying order. So yeah.
Yeah, still, he's making a decision. That is deciding. The same way that apparently getting into a rap battle is making an evaluation. So, jumping cars.
Oh God, not that again. That's not a thing, by the
way. It is. Cars do jump off of ramps, over ditches, into helicopters sometimes.
But there's no classification of jumping car.
Well, I guess technically all cars are jumping cars.
Yep. Never mind.
Or, cars on very extravagant lifts are jumping cars.
Anyway.
But as I was saying, it's just using it in the adjective.
Truck.
Well, I would put that into the same thing, because monster trucks don't jump, they go off of ramps, right? So in that respect, they are jumping. Because remember, I was describing it as an action. Anyway, I'm not going to remember to take this out of this recording like I am the other one, so this is going to be a reference to things that no one's going to ever be able to figure out. My point being that I hate when characters act like they have the defense of being a protagonist. Which is to say, it never really felt like they were really in danger there. Only in danger of getting captured. Because the only time they got their asses kicked is when they kept doing stuff to get their asses kicked. But we know the show isn't going to go on without them. They're not going to introduce new main characters. So, I don't know. That's the argument I have with Griffin so many times, is like, what do you expect to happen?
I mean, the one part I didn't like was that he could have shot him he could have killed it. Yes, he shouldn't have, according to you, because he doesn't have the skill. But he was in a position to kill the other guy and said, like, oh, I'm going to shoot him in the leg. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, as you indicated, ultimately, he shouldn't have, because he shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. He shouldn't have won against this guy because he doesn't have the skill to win against this guy, as per the evaluation that he got from Messer before, that you're worse than her, and she's going to get killed because she's not too good at this.
Not good enough.
Well, she's too by the book. Anybody with any experience would be able to shoot you out of the air because they would see what you're doing. Was that read? But yeah, this is another case of you get super skilled by hearing songs. Now, the only way this could ever work in my eyes, if she's literally singing a song while reading the manual. Like, by the way, you want to turn right. So like, some shit like that, which would make no sense as a song. No one would be motivated. I call it my 38th volume of Reading the Phone Book. Volume 2.
Yeah.
So again, I just really don't like that. That's my one major nitpick of the series, is that Hayate got shown to us sucking ass. So if they hadn't shown us him sucking ass, he could have been good from the beginning. I don't think we would have had a debate about that, because every other main pilot has just been good from the beginning. But they chose to make him suck ass from the beginning, and then good out of nowhere.
Yeah. Sound Force. Power of music.
Oh, I thought you were actually referring to Macross 7, Sound Force.
It kind of was.
Well, that's not how Sound Force worked there. Sound Force was just a giant beam that could deflect other beams or attack things.
Yeah.
Those would be completely different if they were like, Freya starts singing and then it turns into that meme, I'm firing my laser, because energy beams come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Different show whatsoever. I think you would hate it so much more. Yeah. I'd be like, this is interesting. What's going on here?
Yeah, I would not.
We've got Dragon Ball Z with Macross all of a sudden.
Again.
I would say again. Macross 7 didn't Dragon Ball Z it.
Close enough.
They built up to the energy beams.
Yeah. So yeah, that was episode 8 of Macross Delta. Any more thoughts?
Alright, well, I guess that is it. So, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?